Hi guys, Jason and Kelly here, and we wanted to come on today and give you an update on where we are at currently in terms of our most recent photo shoot that we've done, and also an update on the body transformation as well.
Yeah, so our photo shoot was on Saturday. We've been doing pretty much, well, this has been a prep for a whole year, I would say. On the back of our photo shoot last year, we made a choice that we wanted to do another one this year. Actually, the plan was to do it at the tail end of last year, but a couple of things just kind of swayed us a little bit into pushing it back. Jason had 2 carpal tunnel surgeries on both of his hands. I had my lump removed, which just meant that our training had to take a little bit of a back step. We had to modify things quite a little bit, and we just knew that we were putting quite a lot of pressure on ourselves to actually get ourselves in the shape that we wanted to just before Christmas. So we extended it, we pushed it, and we did it so that we had our photo shoot on Saturday instead. Now, we knew this time of year was going to be super busy because we are currently just starting week 8 of the body transformation with all of our clients. So everything is incredibly busy for them as well as us as their coaches. But we wanted to show them that we were there with them every step of the way. So kind of every check-in they were doing, we were like, we know how you're feeling, we know what you're going through, we're doing it absolutely too. And I think that was quite inspiring.
Yeah, and just to expand a little bit on what Kelly said there, we realised that, by the fact that we had these operations and we've always been very open and honest whenever anything in our life has come in the way of us being able to be at 100%, we worked around those injuries. We still continued to train, but obviously we were just mindful of the fact that we had undergone surgery. And we realised that by actually setting the date for the photo shoot as this Saturday just gone, that it was going to in turn coincide with the January launch of the BT, which give us a perfect chance to actually accompany all of our guys on their transformation as well. And we did it for 2 reasons. The first one was because we wanted to experience this with those guys and we wanted to lead by example. And secondly as well, we thought it was actually a better chance for us to do it at the beginning of the year when the motivation was highest, and it would give us the chance after Christmas to really dial it in and push forward. When we look at how the body responds physiologically after you've had any kind of surgery, we understood that having our prep at that point just was not realistic. So we decided to do it in January, and in turn, we feel it's been absolutely, the best thing we could have done, because we pushed emphasis into areas in our physique whilst we were injured and obviously recovering from our surgeries that we wouldn't ordinarily have done. And, we managed to work on areas of our physique we wanted to improve, which we always install into all of our guys that can look at themselves objectively and always prioritize working on those aspects that they feel weaker in, where their mobility is not as good, and any body parts they want to improve. And sometimes, even as coaches, it's really important to say that often we have to make modifications to our training in order to keep progressing forward. And the fact that we got to experience this with our guys on the body transformation, although they have every faith in the fact that they know that we are eat, breathing and sleeping what we're saying, it really gives them the chance to see us documenting our progress. And I feel that goes a long way to be the kind of coaches that are actually doing it with the guys, explaining all the way how they feel, and also living it with them as well.
Yeah, and we kind of knew that they would appreciate us trialing all of their workouts before we did it. So every single program that we were delivering for them, we trialed and tested. And actually we did those programs for the first kind of half of our prep for the first month. Then we've actually been trialing the new workouts that we have got for our next body transformation, which actually kicks off on the 15th of April, with regards to different splits, different things that we were kind of focusing on and having a little look at. So again, that we could let our guys know, look, we know these workouts really work. We look at the physique that we've managed to build from this, and also just giving them key information with regards to the way we were training, the nutrition we were having, everything was kind of put into place. So we just kind of really wanted to show them and showcase what is possible when you absolutely put your mind to it.
Yeah, 100%. And, it's an important time to mention that the fact that as coaches, it's really important that we actually take on these challenges ourselves of trialing workouts, trialing macro splits, seeing how the daily habits, coincide with what we're doing in our day-to-day life, and seeing what's achievable and what isn't, seeing what we can set as our expectations and what we can't set as our expectations. And we know through trial and error, as two people that, Kelly's in her 40s now, I'm approaching my late 30s now, and having our guys have the confidence knowing that we're not spring chickens anymore. We're not 20-year-olds that are made of rubber and have the testosterone levels absolutely through the roof. So it doesn't matter what we do, we're going to respond. We also understand that there has been dips and there has been ups in our training and our nutrition over the years that have coincided with us actually not making progress going forward. So, the fact that we're actually trialing all of this pays real dividends and gives the kind of results that we're getting. And, just to delve into the kind of results that we're getting from you guys is absolutely amazing. We're seeing the transition from going from one position to another in a more positive direction, not just in body composition, but also in the fact and just their overall well-being. We're seeing reductions in injuries and also, mindset and also contrary indications. Look, we would love to wave a magic wand and let everybody look like superstars, but the bottom line is it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort, and understanding that it is a game of the tortoise and the hare when it comes to making progress, because those progressive goals that you hit, if you incrementally tick the boxes as you go, it's a more achievable and a more sustainable way to make that progress than making huge leaps forward and getting ready for the slingshot to come back, because that method does apply. If you make huge amounts of progress going forward, there's every chance that you're suddenly going to, back the minute you remove something, you're going to take a huge back step as well.
Yeah. So just kind of going back a little bit about this body transformation that Jason and I have done for the photo shoot. We obviously had our photo shoot last year and the pictures were phenomenal and we were really, really chuffed with everything. We did it to prepare to launch the 10-week body transformation, which absolutely it did. And we wanted to try and test everything to make sure that people could get the same results, not just within their physique, but within their health. I had my bloods done and made sure that all of my bloods massively improved by the end of it. You had a massive improvement with regards to injury and kind of inflammation within your joints, all of those kind of things. We then looked at that and thought, right, how can we then progress this even further? How can we then develop it? We knew that if we wanted to get these pictures for this photo shoot even better, and even though we've only given you a little bit of a taste of them on social media, I can't wait to actually get the pictures and launch them, because we look all right. Yeah. We look quite good. And I was really, really chuffed with the end results. I was like, how am I going to make myself look better than I did before? So there were certain non-negotiables, which we talk about on the body transformation, which we had to absolutely implement every single time, every single day. So we really had to focus on sleep, and sleep for me was a big thing because I was awake quite a lot in the night. I'm somebody who goes to bed, no problem, sleeps to start with, but then I'm awake and I've got lots of things. I'm a busy person buzzing around in my own head. So getting that kind of long sleep was absolutely key. And the way that essentially I did that was through good nutrition, cut out all the booze, and I also massively increased my supplementation to help that as well. So I didn't kind of like, not that I was drinking excessively, but over Christmas, you notice it. You're drinking differently and you may be a little bit more dehydrated than you would be. And that has a knock-on effect. So that was like a game changer, a massive game changer. Obviously, our nutrition, we knew what we needed to do. We needed to get that on point. But training, for me, needed to go up a gear. Yeah. I needed to train more and heavier and smarter. Yeah. So I wasn't training longer. I was only doing my workouts for around sort of 45 minutes. Yeah. But I was training much heavier and I was getting more out of my workouts from it. Jason always kind of like just blows up like a balloon straight away when he's training. And, as a brilliant, brilliant result from it, I have to work a little bit harder from it. But I was super impressed with the fact that just making these small changes on a daily basis over time massively made an impact.
Yeah, it did. And when we want to look at the stimulus that's coming from training, or we want to recognize that something in our life and actually see if this is making a difference, we have to some degree look at not only how we feel within ourselves, but also back it up with some quantitative data. And the fact that we invested in getting Kelly a smartwatch so she could actually comparatively compare her sleep before, which she has all of the data for, against where it is now. The results are completely light and day because we have that option to be able to put them side by side and compare that. We have Kelly's photos and my photos from last year to this year to see the results. And, you know, it's one thing to feel great with yourself and wake up and feel fantastic and feel injury free, but it's also really nice to be able to reinforce that with some actual solid data as well. And that doesn't mean to say everything has to be done on a smartwatch, on a Whoop strap, on a heart rate monitor. It absolutely doesn't. You can just go off how you're feeling within yourself, implementing things into your life, which we tell these guys, you know, you don't need to be invested in smart tech to be able to, you know, decipher whether you're making progress or not. But we really wanted to go down the route to see how much of a difference does it make actually changing the proteins, fats, carbohydrates, increasing the sleep, adding magnesium, making sure that you're hitting your protein shakes, making sure you're getting your steps in, your sunlight. How much of all of this is making a difference? So we have been on such a deep dive, and I kind of the answer to this is when we develop the BT and we coach our guys, we have gone down the rabbit hole. We have dived into the rabbit hole. We have logged this data for ourselves, experienced it through not only our own experiences, but also the many, many, many years of people that we've coached. So therefore, we can bring the data and we can bring the education and the information to the people that join this body transformation. They have it on their dashboard. They have two coaches that support them through their everyday life, when they check in through writing what they write on their dashboard, and know that we've been down the rabbit hole. Myself and Kelly are always constantly educating ourselves. You know, we don't ever say that we know absolutely everything. We are absolute professionals when it comes to the fitness industry and understanding, you know, human biology and the application of, you know, it could be whatever area of fitness. We have the areas ticked in that regard. We don't claim to know absolutely everything, but when it comes to making somebody a fitter, fatter, faster, more functioning person, we can absolutely do that.
Yeah, and we can also, as well, look deeper into different areas. So, you know, for me, I wanted to massively improve my women's health with regards to my endometriosis. And I knew that coming up to this photo shoot, because I know my cycles really well, I knew my cycle was going to arrive pretty much around the day of our photo shoot, which there was absolutely zero anything I could do. But there was definitely things that I could put in place, which I 100% did, to make sure that I could still look and feel amazing at that photo shoot. And that's exactly what happened. And actually, as it happened, my cycle came a little bit earlier, but I didn't experience any bloat. I didn't experience really any pain, any discomfort, which for me was an absolute game changer, because normally my endometriosis floors me for a week, but I kind of sailed through it this time, which was absolutely amazing. My abs were still pretty much there and thereabouts, which was great. And so that, for me, again, is something that I can help with our female clients who might be struggling with their women's health, whether or not it's endometriosis like me, or just heavy periods, or maybe it's perimenopausal, or maybe it's polycystic ovaries. All of these things we can put in place, and it's learning how to cycle your macros around your cycle as well. So that's something that we were kind of, you know, implementing and trial and testing and further educating ourselves in. The other thing as well we understand is that in 10 weeks, people are going to have nights out, weekends away, holidays, all of these things. So our BT never is 100% like, oh, you must do this, you're not allowed this. Anything is possible. And if people go on holiday, people have weekends away, you know, we did it within this trial for ourselves as well. We had weekends in London, we had a couple of nights out, concerts that we were going to, but we still managed to absolutely stay on track. We could still enjoy nights out, meals out, even a couple of drinks. But we managed to absolutely harness that in with regards to our own prep And that's what we implement with regards to the BT.
Yeah, and that's where the education comes in. Every fortnight, we do give Zoom calls where we educate these guys on, how to make the best possible choices in their life. And, everything that we do sort of in life in terms of wanting to progress has to have some level of structure. And ultimately, when it comes down to working with clients, it's a sliding scale of their adherence. The people that are going to adhere to it more, the people that are going to put the most effort in, should ultimately lead to those getting the best results. However, if you're more genetically gifted in the sense that you have a better rate of metabolism, that you naturally carry more muscle, that you have a higher testosterone level, that you have less going on in terms of your endocrine system that's effectively putting a ceiling on your progress, that it isn't always the case that the people that are putting in the most effort are making the most amount of results. In terms of the sliding scale of the structure, in reference to what Kelly's saying there to going out, the structure is there, but it doesn't mean to say that you can't have a life whilst you're on a program. You can still very much still enjoy yourself. It's all about understanding everything's in moderation. And I use this analysis all the time. And it is, you're always making progress, even if it's 2 steps forward and 1 back. You are still making incremental progress. You take 2 forward, you take 1 back, you're still 1 further than you was. You then take another 2. We would love everybody's progress to just go up and 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 up, and not hit this parabolic curve until they get to many, many years down the line. But we know that isn't how things work. There is blips, there is ascents and there is descents in people's progress. The goal is to make sure that people just make consistent progress. If we're getting huge leaps forward in progress, whether that be sports performance, whether that be in weight drops, whether that be whatever aspect of a body transformation, it isn't as sustainable as taking a nice, steady, incremental rise. And, going to concerts, going on holidays, you can absolutely still hit your macros. Of course, allow yourself that wiggle room. And we educate the guys on how they can do that, still go away and still feel as though a win may be for them that they've been on a week all-inclusive holiday. They've come back and they haven't gained any weight. No. Well, if you consider you weighed X amount on week 1, you now go on holiday in week 6 and you're at X amount of weight, you've lost weight, you go on holiday, you don't put on any weight. That is a huge win, because based on the trend of where your weight was going, you would have effectively put on. So a win is that you have maintained. And this is also something that we see a lot. Maintenance and being able to actually stay at a set weight where your body composition changes is a strong indicator, if you're resistance weight training, that you are reducing body fat and you are gaining muscle mass. That is effectively the science of what you ultimately really want to try and do. If your body is in a composition where you no longer want to lose weight, you can work on maintaining that weight through building muscle mass at the same rate that you're dropping body fat, and you will effectively change your body composition even if you don't change body weight. So it isn't always about doing a body transformation to drop 20 kilos. You can stay the same weight and comparatively 10 weeks later at the same weight have an entirely different physique.
People always ask us like, oh, but I don't eat meat, or I'm a vegan, or I'm a fussy eater, can I still do it? What's the diet plan like? What foods can I eat? What foods am I not allowed to eat? You can eat whatever you want. We do not give you a diet plan in that sense. You have a macro count. So you will have an app, everything is run via our app. Yeah. And on the app, you will have a certain amount of calories that you are kind of prescribed. And that's due to your lifestyle, your height, your weight, your activity levels, what your goals are, what you want to achieve. And you will have those amount of calories, and they will be broken down into your macronutrients, your protein, your carbohydrates, your fats. And you'll have a set amount of grams to consume every day. How you do that is your choice. So on our body transformation, we have people who are vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, full-on meat eaters, people who are fussy eaters, people who do night shifts so they can't actually eat when normal people eat in the day. Absolutely everyone can achieve on the BT, no matter what style of nutrition you kind of want to follow. It's absolutely fine. What we tell you and educate you is there's certain foods that can bring you closer to health, and then there's certain foods that can bring you further away. And hopefully over the 10 weeks, with all of the Zoom educational talks that we do and all of our coaching that we do on a weekly basis, on an individual basis, you will then learn to move towards the foods that bring you closer to health and less, on those ones that will bring you further away.
Yeah, and we find from sort of like week 1 to week 10, or some of the guys that have been with us now through all 3 body transformations and have continued on and already booked their spot on the next BT, that have been with us for like nearly 37 weeks now. We educate you guys, so not only are you looking at a plate, if you understand what happens when you consume that food, you understand the process the body goes through in breaking down that food, and effectively to the point where it allows you to move, so you have full understanding. And what we find is people generally will start to naturally make better choices off understanding what food is going to be better fuel for them, to make sure that they're powering themselves through their workouts, and also to make sure that they're, physiologically, that they're improving in terms of what they're eating. We can't expect anybody to just get a macro split and have different ratios of fats, proteins and carbs and not understand why. So that is why in the very first Zoom call, we go straight into why you're consuming the foods and the ratios you are and what they're doing for your body. That is key. You have to educate people on why they are doing the things they're doing. Otherwise, they will aimlessly just be doing things. And we've all been culprit of doing things without any idea of why we're doing them. And this is something that we pride ourselves on and take really serious with this BT. This is something that I really feel, and I will honestly say this sets us apart, is the fact that we give the education. Everybody gets the time to be spoken about of what goes on in their current lifestyle and given the education to work around what their needs are. So they are fully aware of why they are exercising, why they are drinking that water, why they're getting that sleep, why their hormones are responding the way they are, why they're having fats, proteins, carbohydrates and micronutrients, so they can become a better version of themselves. In turn, they're more educated, they can educate their people around them, maybe even influence their children and the people in their household, and just generally just improving their life through knowledge.
Yeah. So other results that we've had, and we're, like I said, we're week 8, but we've done 3 body transformations so far, and we've done continuation programs with a lot of people. People have been able to come off antidepressants, which is, oh my God, such an amazing achievement in a very, very short space of time. People have improved their mental health with regards to actually being able to eat more, because lots of people come on our body transformation who actually don't want to lose weight, who actually want to put weight on, that they've had bad relationships with food in the past. And people have started to understand food and not see it as the enemy, the devil, anything like that anymore. People have come off medication where they were having to take an inhaler every single day, and all of a sudden now not having to take that. People are starting to be able to feel that they can, run around with their children more or play with their grandchildren more.
Amazing.
And all of these achievements. And then, of course, we've got people who've had serious injuries, serious illness as well. And they've absolutely been able to feel better, move forward throughout that. So whatever your goal is, this body transformation absolutely works for it. It's not just for anyone who wants to get into, amazing physique. Yes, we'll absolutely take you on, and we've had some phenomenal results for it, and we've got some phenomenal results coming. But it's also for anyone who just wants to transform their life, transform their lifestyle. It would be ideal. So our next body transformation starts on the 15th of April.
Super excited.
We've already had over 30 people book. So the places are limited. And I hate saying that, but it is true, because there is only Jason and I running our BT. Although we've got, lots of help and support, we also know that we want to make sure that we're giving the very best coaching that we possibly can to everybody. So we are moving quite a lot of our current BT through into the next stage, which is the developmental stage. And they are going to be absolutely developing their transformations with regards to their knowledge, with regards to their training, with regards to their nutrition, moving through and forward. Lots of people who've been doing the development will be moving again further through, almost into a new kind of elite program as well, which is absolutely amazing. And of course, we're going to have people who want to repeat what they've been doing because they haven't actually got to where they want to be just yet. So they're going to repeat. And then, of course, hopefully, we're going to get some new people as well. So if you are interested, then the early bird offer is up at the moment, and that's till the 29th of March. So if you are interested, please let me know. I'll put the post below on this link. But otherwise, get in touch if there's any questions at all. Post in the comments or message Jason and I privately, and we're more than happy to answer any of your questions.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you got this far into it. And we really value every single one of you and for giving your time to watch and listen. And hopefully you can invest in your future and do something that may just change your life. Thank you.